In this video, we will learn about variation. The variation might be direct variation, inverse, or combined variation. We have a real world problem about electricity. The resistance R of a piece of wire varies directly to its length. So let's write resistance varies directly to its length and inversely to its cross sectional area. R is inverse 1 by A. This is the proportional variation proportionality, how we write generally in physics. But now over here, we can use the same concept, but we write the things which are directly proportional in the numerator, inversely proportional in the denominator. But here, you need to add a proportionality constant called K. So now this is how we can write this equation, whatever they have told over here. A piece of copper wire is 3 meters long and 2 millimeters in diameter, has a resistance of 0.0107 ohms. Find the resistance of a second piece of copper wire 2 meters long and 6 meters in diameter. So now, first of all, we need to find the variation, how the K is varying. And then we can find the second wire, because for the first wire they have told all the details, but K is unknown, right? So let's substitute this one. First one, L1, and this is the diameter. So what is the radius? Here radius would be 1 millimeters. So once you find the radius, you can find the area, right? A1 can be found over here. First, let's do area. Pi r square. So area will be pi into 1 square. Now this is in millimeters. So this length I will consider to be millimeter as well, because it's radius in this area, it's easy to keep in millimeter square, or I can make this as meter, which will be a very small number. Here we have been given it's 3 meters. 3 meters. Now the way to convert is you need to write it in millimeters. What is milli? Small letter m will be 10 to the power minus 3. But you just can't write 10 to the power minus 3 and make it millimeter. You must add 10 to the power plus 3 as well. Here, the 10 to the power plus 3 and 10 to the power minus 3 cancels off. So they are basically 1. It's 3 meters itself. But this is one way to write it. And then we write it as 3 into 10 to the power 3. 10 to the power minus 3 is equal to milli. M means 10 to the power minus 3. So I'll write mm. So this mm means the small m is 10 to the power minus 3. So this is how we can write. Otherwise, you just know 3 meters means 3000 millimeters. You can directly take this as well. Whichever you remember, please write it accordingly. Now let us substitute over here. So this resistance will be, now we know the resistance value, isn't it? Let's substitute the resistance value at 0.0107, that is equal to K, that is unknown, times 3 into 10 to the power 3 divided by the area is pi into 1 square. So that will be just pi. So let's take everything to the other side and solve. It will be 0.0107 times pi divided by 3 into 10 to the power 3. That is the K value. All you need to do is put in the calculator and solve. I've just typed it as it is. Now for the 10 to the power minus 3, you have this option. So you can directly give you 10 to the power plus 3. Sorry, plus 3, not minus 3. And this is the answer here. Let's just write it out. It'll be 1.12 into 10 to the power minus 5. That is the K value. If you want to write it in decimals, it'll be 0. A lot of zeros. That'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2. So now if you take this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, that'll be the decimal point. This is the K value. But you can keep it in terms of the scientific notation itself. That's 10 to the power minus 5. Now we found the K value. Now we need to use the same formula again. That is R is equal to KL by A, and find the resistance again for 2 meter wire and 6 mm diameter. So that would be R is equal to, we know the K value is 1.12 into 10 to the power minus 5. And what is the length now? I'll directly write it. 2 meters in mm would be 2000, or 2 into 10 to the power 3. divided by the area. This time will be pi into, this is the diameter, so 3 square. That is the area. Pi r square, radius is 3. So all you need to do is now type it out. Type this entirely over here. Type entirely accordingly. So now make sure you can use this as 10 to the power 3, or you can directly type this over here and 3. Both are the same. Now just press equal to, the answer is 7 r is equal to 7.923 10 to the power minus 4. Now here you can write it in terms of decimal, that will be 0.30792. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, this matches. So that's the answer. Now don't forget the symbol, unit, that is ohms. So you write it like that. So that would be the answer for this problem. You can see the worked out solution is over here, and okay, this is wrong over here. I just realized it should be resistance. Let me just read it. Resistance is directly varying. So whenever they tell resistance is directly varying, R will be first. Okay, this is the formula. And then you solve it up. And okay, there is errors in the solution set. I just realized it. This cannot be 3. This is 10 to the power 3. They are missing this 10 to the power 3, because you cannot have one in millimeter and one in meters. Both must be in the same units. So because they have used 3.14, that means pi into 1 square. Here pi, the area is in mm. This also must be in mm. So this is the correct answer what I've written. And then, okay, then they have done everything right, I believe. They have substituted and the final answer is same. But anyways, just refer to this, what I've written, rather than that solution set. Only for this, it is wrong, but the final answer is correct. But still, the methods are wrong, steps are wrong. Now let's go through these problems quickly. I'll walk through them. The size of the plant cells before cell division is directly related to water available for nutrition and inversely proportional to the bacteria present in soil. Now I write size is proportional to water divided by inversely proportional to the bacteria. So if I'm writing as equation, it will be Kw by B. So this is the formula for this. It's directly related to the water and inversely related to the bacteria. If a given plant cell grow to 1.5 mm when 0.5 liters of water is available and the bacterial level is restricted to 500 parts per million, what would the bacterial level be for the same plant whose cell growth is 2 mm with 0.4 liter of water available? So now the same thing is again given. There are two equations basically. So now these type of problems is easier if you solve like this. Here I'll just tell you, S is how much? Kw divided by B, right? Let's write everything in terms of K. So take this to the other side. SB divided by W will be equal to K. And now they have given one more set of equations. So that is also equal to K, right? So if I give this as S1, B1 and W1, that is S2, B2, W2. Why? Because the constant is equated to each other, is equal, is the same for both the cases. Now you just substitute all the values. What do we know over here? Just substitute it. And then directly you put it in the calculator and solve it. I'll just show you over here. So you substitute this. S1, B1, W1 is equal to S2, B2, W2. And now over here they have given 1.5, 500, 0.25. Substitute the same thing in the next one. Only one is unknown. That is how much bacteria level is there, right? So just solve the entire thing and you will come to know 600 parts per million is there. This problem is about pressure. The volume of a gas varies directly with the temperature and inversely with the pressure. A certain gas has a volume of 15 liters, a temperature of 290 Kelvin, and a pressure of 1 atmosphere. If the gas is compressed to a volume of 12 liters and is heated to 310 Kelvin, what is the new pressure to be? So round here, answer to the nearest thousand. Just like what we did a while ago, the constants are equal, right? Right, how it is varying. The temperature at the top, the pressure at the bottom, and then we have to multiply the constant k of direct variation. Now move everything to the other side. You'll get V1 P1 by T1, that is equal to V2 P2 by T2. Just substitute all that is given over here. Everything is given. One value is unknown, that is second pressure, right? Pressure is what we need to solve. So now take everything to the other side and solve it up. Nearest thousand means three digits after the decimal point, because thousand has three zeros. And the answer is 1.336 atmosphere. We will look into this problem. Bulan works at a car wash. The amount Bulan earns varies directly with the number of hours she works. Bulan earns $144 for working 12 hours. Write the direct variation equation for the amount Bulan earns, Y, for working X hours. They have clearly mentioned, right, in terms of Y and X. In this writing exam, please follow this. Now, I would have written directly money as M, hours as H, or time T, but here they have clearly mentioned what you need to write. So let's write Y earning is proportional to number of hours working. So Y is equal to, you can write it as Kx. K is the constant of direct variation. So earns how much? 144 in 12 hours. Okay, so k is unknown, so this will be 144 by 12, that is k. So for each hour she will earn 12 is equal to k. So this is the direct variation. Now how much will Bulan earn for working 18 hours? So we know k is 12, right? So y is equal to kx. Now here they have also told to write the direct variation equation. So I'll just write over here before we solve that. K is 12x. This is the direct variation equation. Now we will just substitute 18 hours and solve it up. 12 is the k value multiplied by 18 hours of work is considered. So 18 times 12, 180 plus 32, it will be 30, the 36, it will be 216 over here. So it is $216 that will be earned after working for 18 hours. So that's how we write it. Write this equation and the amount of money she earns as well. Now the other problems are similar. It's a direct variation problem. As a general rule, the number of parking spaces in a parking lot of a movie theater complex varies directly with the number of theaters in the complex. And they have given us the values. We have to just substitute and solve. In this, we can see over here, typical complex has 30 parking spaces for each theater. That is the K value. That's a constant value. So 30 for each theater. So that is the slope, you can say. K is given as 30. Now, if you want to build 210 over here, how many theaters you must have? X theaters. So just divide both the sides by 30 and you will get as 7. So that's it. The equation over here, directly K value is given. So you need to write that. Now we have table and we need to use the basic knowledge of direct and inverse variation and check whether they are both. If they are not direct and inverse, you should tell neither. Here, I'll just walk you through this problem. All you need to know is the direct variation formula is y is equal to kx. And take any two values. We start with from the first one itself. Y is the y value given, 12. X is over here. Find the k value. K becomes 3, right? Now, for the next one, check whether this works. If you multiply 8 by 3, are you getting 24? Yes. If you're multiplying 16, yes, it is true. So this is very simple. Direct variation are very easy. You can just see over here 4 times 3 is 12, 8 times 3 is 24, 16 times 3 is 48. Same way over here 32 times 3 is 96. That is directly varying. Now, what about inverse variation? First, you need to check for direct variation. Okay, over here 2 is equal to k into x. K value is 1/4. Multiply it over here. Does it work? 1/4? No, you should get 1 over here, but you're getting 4, so it's not. Now we must know the inverse variation formula. Now y1 is equal to 1 by x1 because it's inversely varying. But then we have one more, that is y2 over here inversely varies with x2. See, both are inverse. If you have y1 over here, x1 will be at the right side bottom. Same with y2, Down left side bottom is x2. Now what do you do is substitute these x1 y1 x2 y2 over here. So x1 is how much? 8. That is x1. Y1 is 2, x2 is 4, and lastly y2 is 4. Now solve both the sides. Are they equal? Yes, they are equal, so they are inversely varying. If they were not equal, both the sides, both the cases, then they are neither. But here for the inverse variation, yes, we get the answer. And let's check one more. See, I think so. This is, yeah, neither. So over here it is not directly varying because it should be 2. 3 times 2 is 6, not 9. Now you put the formula of inverse variation, y1 by x2 equals y2 by x1. Remember, your y1 is there, your x1 must be there. You can have y2, then x2 will be over here. Now here if you have y2, here it is x2. Then substitute all the values and check whether they are equal. 4 by 3 is not equal to 9 by 2 because 4 thirds are 1.33, here it is 4.5. They're not equal to each other, and so it's neither. Another problem, real world problem, where the figure is given. Pre-made art canvases available in standard sizes. Analyze the relationship between the width and length of each canvas size. For each size, write a function that relates the length and the width. You need to write length, how is it proportional to width? So here you have to just write them. Length is how much? 11, width is 14. So it will be 14 by 11. Let me just show you over here. What is the dimension of the smallest canvas? It's given 11 inches by 14 inches, right? So now let's write the relationship. Here they have clearly mentioned width and length of each. So this is the width 11, this is the width, and the length is the bigger side 14. So they want us to relate length and width. So length is equal to k times width. But be careful, what is width and what is length? Now let's substitute over here. Length is 14. That is equal to k. What is width? 11. So we just substitute over here. The relationship they have asked is this. Take the 11 to the other side. It will be 14 by 11 is equal to k. So substitute this as the k value. So L is equal to kW. So substitute over here. Same thing you do for the other things. But remember, the first one is width. Second one is length. And then you can easily find it out the same way. And over here they have asked, for which sizes is the relationship between the width and the length the same? Okay, you need to see where you're getting this k value equal. So you're getting some values 4 by 3, 4 by 3 over here many, and 5 by 4 is also same over here at times. So you have to just tell which are those. So we found out 4 by 3 is for 12 by 16. 4 by 3 is for over here 18 by 40, 24. So these are the values you should just mention over there. They're all having certain k value, that is this relationship. Then again, which are others having 5 by 4. And what does this mean in the context of the relationship between the width and the length are same for two canvas? Now here, they are basically enlargement of each other, right? By the same scale factor. So all are getting enlarged. See, as the width is being increased, the length is being increased, everything is a scale factor. So that's what. At a particular scale factor, they're all increasing. And if you want to know which scale factor, over here we found out this ratio, right? K value. And the cost of painting a wall varies directly with area of the wall. Write a formula for the cost of painting a rectangular wall with dimensions length by width. With respect to length and width, the cost varies directly, jointly, or inversely. Now here they have clearly told in the first sentence, cost varies directly with area. That makes sense. The cost is more as the area of the painting is more. Now here they have also told cost is what? Area is what? Sorry, length into width. So if we write C is equal to K length into width, right? This is what two terms are there. It's joint variation. Whenever there are two terms, it's basically joint variation. So the answer is jointly varying. It's as C increases, as length increases, the cost increases. As width increases, also the cost increases. Because length and width increase, then the area increases. So eventually the cost increase. An apartment rents for $M per month. If n students share the rent equally, how much would each student have to pay? How does the cost per student vary with the number of students? Okay, so they have told the rent is so much over here. If say rent is m and the students are n, each student will pay m by n per student. Always it's like that. Now just imagine you're going somewhere and say taxi with your friends. The bill is 90 dirhams and you guys are three people. So how much will each have to pay? Divided by 3, it'll be 30 per person, right? The same thing. Total rent divided by the number of students, that is per student cost. Now, how does it vary? It varies inversely, isn't it? So as the number of student increases, the per person it will reduce. So you can see here it's written m by n. Why is it varying inversely? Because as the number of student increases, the cost reduces per student. And if two students have to pay 700 each, okay, how much would each of the student have to pay if there were five students sharing the rent? Now they have told two students are paying 700, means what's the total rent? It will be 1400. Don't write 700 here, but because two students are paying 700 each, so total would be 1400. Now if five students are sharing, it'll be 1400 divided by 5, that is $280 per student. So that's how we do it. That's the end of this topic. There are different types of problems, but remember, all are similar and easy. So please make sure you go through them properly. And if you have any doubts, post them in the comments, and I'll try to get back to you very soon.